So, Namor tutorial. Namor is actually kind of mostly situational. You wouldn't want to use him in every situation. His frontline damage is really great, but what he's really useful for is whenever your team is getting dived and you have a problem with that. For example, there's a Spidey in your background. Or no, there's a Spidey in your backline. Yeah, so for example, there's a Spidey in your backline. It's a very hard counter, but all you do is you press E twice and then these will take care of everything for you. You don't even need to look at them anymore. Most likely, at least. But, so the cool thing about Namor is that you don't even have ammo, so you can just keep holding down left click. Legit, do not even lift your finger from that button, except whenever you want to do the combo. Left click, right click, and then that way you can most likely one-shot people. So one basic thing about Namor is, learning to land your combo, which is just your left click, right click, and that can one-shot people if you aim it well. It's very important that whenever you see a target, you try to hit this on them, and even if it doesn't work, the amount of burst damage at one time, even if it's just 2 body shots, is gonna make them go back, not shoot at your teammates anymore, try to get healed up by their team, and just the raw damage on the front line that you can do with him is already big worth it. He most of the time gets countered by Groot, for example, because his walls take a lot of spears to be broken down. But yeah, Namor has really great frontline damage. No matter what, you can just spam down angles. Even if you don't hit every single spear, let's say you miss like 2, it doesn't matter because the ones you do hit are gonna do a lot of damage. This constant damage is gonna wear down the team. You can try and burst, but it's pretty hard to do that, except if you like hit all headshots. So what you need with Namor is consistency. Always hold down left click and then always just keep shooting no matter what. There shouldn't be any second where you are not shooting something. But what Namor excels at most of the time is dealing with the divers in your backline. Since you have these 2 little thingies, these 2 cuties, they can take care of anyone on the backline for you. You don't even need to aim at anyone. But yeah, these little octopus guys are gonna be able to take care of all the divers in your backline for free. Maybe if you can even hit 1 or 2 on them, it's fine, it can help you a lot. But what you need to do with Namor to excel with helping your team is just putting down your squids in a good position, if they have divers, where they will focus them instantly whenever they try to get in. So, for example, let's say their team doesn't have any divers, you can just plop down the octopuses next to you and they're gonna shoot everything with you. You have a lot of frontline damage, that's great. But for example, let's say that there's the Luna Snow, and we pretend that Luna Snow is the diver in our backline, but their frontline is in front of us. It's a Spider-Man coming behind us. So what you should do is actually position the octopuses so that they would be shooting them and not the front line. See how they are shooting the Luna Snow that came in behind and not the front line, not anything here. That decision of putting down your octopuses towards the front line or towards the back line to protect your team is most of the time the only thing that you need to really decide on Namor. You as well can also position yourself the same way, where if you stand in the front line and just shoot on the front line, you are going to do a lot of damage and it's great. But if your team is getting dived all the time, you can just, you know, let them be on the front line, whatever, and then you're going to be behind them. Wait for the enemy to dive them, and then you can take care of the divers that try to kill your team. These are mostly the only 2 kind of states of Namor that you need to really decide on which style you want to do. Defend your team more in the back line, like be behind everyone and then just defend them. Or be with your team on the front line and destroy and obliterate their front line. Most of the time, you can just stay here with the octopuses, with your whole team. Just keep trying to hit your spears, do the combo, which is just left click, right click. It's really not that big of a deal. And as soon as you keep doing that and land your left clicks, your right clicks, the pure raw damage output that you're gonna have is gonna win you the games. Literally, you're just gonna have so much damage that they won't be able to do anything about it. You just keep spamming, keep doing damage. You should have the highest damage output in the entire game if you just keep landing the left clicks and right clicks. Hella might out damage you, but Hella's fucking broken, so we don't really care about that. The other one might be Punisher if you get some good ones, but honestly, Namor's pure damage numbers are insane. So choose between these 2 styles. Putting your squids behind to defend your team against divers, or putting them and yourself in the front line But yeah, so putting yourself and the squids in the back of your team to protect them from dives, if that's a big problem. But if not, then just be on the front line with your squids, put them down just wherever on the floor where they won't be picked off instantly. And then you are going to win your games easily. The cool thing about the squids though also is that you can put them on walls or any kind of surface as well. Most of the time this doesn't really help, except if you are trying to position them against the divers in your backline, then you can put them anywhere where they would be shooting the divers. And even if they are not in the middle of your team, it's good because most of the time, like, it's Black Panther and Spider-Man that would be diving your team. So if you put them above them, they won't really be able to do too much about it. But other than that, honestly, putting them on the ground next to yourself is fine on the front line because your team is most likely going to have a shield tank over here. They're going to be protected just like you are and just like the entire team is. Other than that, the squids don't really have that much else to it. Try to position them in a way where they won't get instantly sniped. Don't throw them in the enemy team like that. They're just gonna instantly get killed. Pretend that you are the octopus and that the octopus is you, because they are literally just an extension of yourself. So it's just a little bit of a pure damage output that won't ever miss. Doesn't do too much, but the consistency with these octopuses is key, just like with Namor. You should always be spamming the octopuses, have as many of them down as you can. The same with your left click, right click. Always be spamming, always be shooting. One really good thing about Namor is that he is one of the safest characters in the entire game. Not only are you always in the back line just spamming towards the front line, and you have these two turrets to always protect you from anything. No matter where it is, they are gonna hit them and over time deal enough damage to kill. But you have your left shift, which blocks anything and everything in the entire game. You need to get used to your left shift as an oh shit button. Whenever anything bad is happening, press it and you are gonna live. Your HP gets low, left. They're using an enemy ultimate, left shift. You are getting dived and you anticipate a lot of damage coming in, left shift instantly. This is most likely just gonna be a reaction and game knowledge kind of thing. You need to learn what is gonna kill you instantly and you need to react accordingly. It is one simple button. It also allows you to just fly up and observe the battle from above. Let's say that you just got dived and you're trying to figure out what to do. You can take these 3 seconds to analyze the situation, put down your squids, and then do whatever you planned out to do. It's a good reset. It literally takes you out of the game for 3 seconds where you can think, where you can act afterwards, and it saves you from everything. So it's a very important button, and it's only 15 seconds for the cooldown, so definitely get used to using it as much as you can. It's very important. His left click is not that big of a deal because all you need to do is just combo it with your left click. Your right click is not that big of a deal because all you need to do is just combo it with your left click as such. For one-shot combos, literally just need to aim it the same way. It's just a way for Namor to have a bit of burst damage. Nothing serious. His ulti is actually really strong. Most of the time, you are gonna get countered by either Mantis ultimate or Luna Snow ultimate. But even if you do, it's not a bad thing, because it means that they are using their support ults to counter your ult, which enables your team to maybe get their ults off in a much better way. Ult economy, it just like in Overwatch, is very important in this game, so if you can either force the support ults out with it, or get some kills with it, either way it will work. What you need to make sure is that you just hit at least like 2 people with it, but even if it's, for example, an enemy Punisher ulting, then you can try to solo ult him with it, and it can one-shot. Even if it doesn't one-shot when they are down on the ground, just one spear will kill them. Another cool thing with left shift though is that you can also access high grounds with it. If there's no fight going on and you don't anticipate any kind of damage coming in and you think you are safe, then you can obviously use it to just gain high ground access and then set up for the next fight. With his ultimate, even if you don't hit them in the middle of the circle and one-shot them, they will be low enough where a single spear can kill most low HP heroes. So for example, I ulti here, and then I kill 2 with a left click, right click. With your ulti, one thing that is pretty hard to do with it is that it is pretty limited range compared to how far away you are going to be from the enemies most of the time. Namor should not be in the face of enemies because your long range enables you to be as far away from them as possible and still hit your shots consistently. So the one bad thing about his ultimate is that it is very, very close range. It will be needed for you to walk up a bit more than usual in order to use it successfully. One cool thing is that you can use your shift with your ultimate to get an overhead view of the entire map, which makes it easier for you to land a good ultimate on the enemy team. But yeah, most of the time you should use it to either force out the enemy support ults or get some kills with it. Even if you just chuck it in the middle of the enemy team in a big engagement and you start the fight with it, it will work. It's a very good engage ultimate. You shouldn't really be using it to clean up people. You should start fights with it as much as you can, because it's a very, very good initiator. If you hit multiple people with it, they will be stunned, they will be low HP. And then if your team also goes in with it, it will make it very easy for your team to clean up afterwards, get those kills, win the team fight. And then all you needed was one single ultimate. One other good thing about his ultimate is that you can also combo it with other people. For example, Groot ultimate is really good because it acts just like a Zarya grab. It pulls people together. Once they are pulled together, you aim it in the middle of them, it should one-shot a lot of them if it's a big Groot ultimate. Other good combos could be anything else. For example, like even Strange's ultimate is really good in a combination with this, because they're both AoE ult. If you use both at the same time, then you will probably be able to wipe the enemy team. Honestly, Magneto ult as well. If you can knock down the enemy tanks and then Magneto throws his ultimate in the middle too, you should be able to blow them up at the same time. If you have a Luna Snow on your team and you have your Icy Octopus friend too, then you should make sure that you always put down one normal octopus and then the icy octopus. And that will enable you to, afterwards, once they run out, like this, to put down 2 of your normal octopuses. And then after these 2 normal octopuses run out, that should enable you to also put down a normal octopus and your icy octopus again. That rotation should make you have 2 out of 2 octopuses for like at around 30 seconds, I think. And having 2 octopuses up for that insane amount of duration is gonna really help with consistent damage output. So rotate your octopuses with your normal and icy. After those run out, put down 2 normal, and then after those 2 normal run out, put down a normal and an icy again. Your octopuses should always have as much uptime as possible, and that's the way you can optimize the octopuses. Because that way both of the cooldowns are going to start going down at the same time, meaning more uptime on all of them. He's a really easy and straightforward hero. There's not really much you need to do, not really any crazy plays you need to do. With Namor, the thing you need is consistency. Always keep doing damage, always keep putting down the octopuses. Always hit your left shits when things get heated. Your left click can also be used as just a spam tool. Just like with Torbjorn in Overwatch, you can hit people, but at a longer range, it is pretty difficult to consistently hit people. So what you should be doing is choosing a sideline and just spamming down it. For example, let's say that the enemies would be coming from that door. Then what you should do is just have this sideline and just keep spamming down it. Keep spamming, keep spamming, keep spamming. Even if the enemy tanks, for example, advance to like the left side of it and try to take space, the DPS and the supports are gonna stay behind, and you should just keep spamming that door. Unless all of them come through, and you have to try to hit them in the middle, in the open. Otherwise, just keep spamming the choke points and these sidelines. Set up these as much as you can. So yeah, Namor is mostly about being consistent as much as you can. Always have as many octopuses down as you can. Always be spamming your left click and hit your right click combos with it too. Always hit your left shift whenever there's a problem. And your ultimates should most of the time be solid enough to have value. He's not the craziest or most difficult hero. He's very safe and very easy. Most of the time, even if you just have good squid positioning, you just put them down in a good way, you should be able to honestly get gold even without shooting the enemy once with your left or right click. These 2 little guys are enough to like help you climb out of bronze. Not gonna lie. Especially if you have an icy one as well. Okay, I think that's it. Anyways, bye.